Welcome to podcast me.you.1. In episodes Read Me in a Kitchen, we want to meet wonderful people. And they are all around, and we want to discover who are they? What are the things that they are worried about? Maybe what is important for them? So, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
So we say thank you for coming to our kitchen.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, why not? Because we invite only beautiful people, so you are selected.
Thank you. My skin is getting better and better.
That's good.
Day by day.
Thank you.
So, but in this kitchen, actually, we want to discover people. So you are kind of in a trap. We want to discover you more. So.
Wonderful trap. You know, this is
Yes,
the beautiful word, right? Welcome to our trap.
Yes.
Okay, and
you
feel
see-
like a trap in a home.
Yeah.
I hope
okay.
you will get out. But I know you will, because the questions what I really want to ask, and also Henrik, it's sometimes I say it's not a stupid question, but easy questions. So let's see how you will answer. Like, I know you by some your background. We work together. I know Zuarguss is Zuarguss, but can you tell us who are you?
How many sentences do I have? Actually, do you give me 1 hour or 10 sentences?
Oh, you just burned 2 minutes.
So anyway, if you will talk 1 hour, we cut anyway.
Okay, let's go for 1 minute sales pitch.
Who are you?
Okay, I am a seeker who has trouble staying out of growth. So I have this dependency of growth, and it's not the easiest treat one can have, because when you look for stability in your life, so the growth is kind of unstable in its nature. And I have gone through growth in media, in professional life. Then I had depression, so I needed to start to grow as a person to understand how to get rid of depression. And then I moved to education, first growth stage, education and science. And now, last 5-6 years, I'm in the subconscious mind, because I just saw that in education, when you work just with your mind, it's really superficial. So I needed to dig deeper, and luckily my spiritual background is everything about consciousness and subconscious levels. So I have had 5 stages of growth, and right now I'm in the 5th one.
So the answer would be that you are a growing person, because you actually didn't answer the question. So who are you?
Growing person. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out. Thank you.
Formalize. But then growing person, Zuarguss, why do you exist?
Oh, that's a good question.
A tough one.
So let's switch in this case to meaning of our lives. What is meaning of our life? And my answer will be super trivial. The answer is experience. As I agree with one of my spiritual teachers, who said that maybe some of you will be shocked, some of you will fall in depression, but actually we are here to gather experience. And if from this experience we gain pain and suffering and regret and all that stuff, that we go down, we are going destructive path. If we gain learning lessons and we grow towards humanity and heart, then we are growing into evolutionary state.
So that's why you exist.
Yeah, to experience.
To have an experience, and to have an experience, what can I change towards positivity, human heart?
Beautiful. That's
Thank you.
Yeah. So when you exist, what are you doing the most?
I'm working with some kind of maybe negative impulses in me and changing them towards something nice, beautiful, human. Let's say forgiveness. Let's say hearing people out. Let's say being more empathetic towards outer world, and then it's the very same towards myself, to my body, to my inner circle of people, my closed ones.
That's nice.
That's beautiful. Like also, like us, we love the people around us. If I could ask you, there are saying that 5 people around you makes who you are. Who are those 5 people of yours? What is your 5 people around? Or maybe it's not 5 people who influence you and creates you.
I do believe there's not 5 people, honestly. There is something like 3, let's say. and they are usually growing with me. And when I changed my stages of life, every time I changed people around me.
Yeah.
Always, it's
Yeah.
like
You said those periods
next.
that you have, right? So you
Exactly.
switched. Ah,
Yeah, so this is like synchronicity at its absolute, as Jung has said, right? This synchronicity principle. Absolutely, it changes, and it from one aspect it's like, oh, my old friends have gone. The good thing is like right now I'm trying to incorporate that my old friends are coming back, so I can have a chat and we can laugh
Yes.
again.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because unifying trait for all the friends that I have had in my life, there is heart, there is responsibility, and there is sense of humor. So those traits are for everyone, so we can have a laugh always.
Yeah, so how come some people come back after the while? So you have changed back, or they have changed to you? Who's changed?
You know, there's this anthropologist Howard who said about the hero journey. I suppose you
Yeah.
know hero journey, right? And there are those 4 latest stages: doctor, teacher, and the last one is joker. So what I perceive of myself, that I'm trying to be this joker who can be playful and deep, and you can communicate with different kind of people, still keeping your sense of being who you are and your values.
So
Yeah.
the question is, what is your value?
Yes, that was my question.
Values changes always when you change. Values.
Really?
Oh, really, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Explain.
Okay. Your question was with a wink. I understand that you are maybe referencing towards deeper values regarding that.
Take it like this. What is so important for you in your life has a value that if I take it away from you, I threaten you. And that is core values, right? That could be freedom, love, like whatever. And then you have sub values, which is more like a car or something like that. So what is so important for you that you cannot even breathe if I take it away?
So it changes every time I change my kind of stage in my life, and I will answer from different angle, Henrik. I will answer from angle of fear. 99.99% of people have basic core values from fear. Let me explain. So, for example, people are in relationships because they are afraid of being lonely. For those who have been in relationships, destructive relationships, they understand that they are keeping it together as much and as long as possible because they fear to be lonely. So their main value is not to be together, but their main value actually is not to be alone. So, and in some sense, you can understand that because loneliness is the main people killer, for example, in the United States. When people are getting alone in later stage of life, it's one of the biggest predictors of predictors of death in the near future. So, for example, that is the kind of question: how I can change these values that I can be together without fearing to be alone. So, and answering from that question, so this is like subconscious mind topic that when I have worked with values, and I have seen guys that you are working with values, following you on Instagram. So I understand that this is like the tricky part that, for example, for 4 years I gave this course, Find Your Passion. And when you need to find your passion, you need to start with the 2 aspects. One is values, really important, and second one is flow. Maybe you remember what is flow. Csikszentmihalyi from Chicago University, wonderful concept. And what I understood that, for example, if you try to understand your values with your mind, it's super superficial. Super superficial, literally. So we needed to dig deeper and understand what kind of fear we have. So, for example, I had a fear not to be judged publicly. I was typical people pleaser. Super big fear from public. And
so it was important for you to please people.
Absolutely. So it was my value, but out of fear. Out of fear. And almost every action what I did in terms of business, in terms of communication, in terms of whatever, it was out of that fear. And he even knows that I was kind of really well known in Latvia. I was TV personality, blah, 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 blah. And so I was getting so good at people pleasing, I struck really deep depression because I achieved my ultimate goal.
Now you went against your values.
I went with my values to please people, and I reached the end.
Yeah,
and at the very end, there was nothing. There was
Makes
nothing.
sense. Yeah.
So it was emptiness. So, and I went for 6-8 years with depression, what I didn't understand, something like that. So we need to understand those deeper values, and so values with my friends actually: heart, responsibility, sense of humor. So these values kind of you can understand through your actions. What are your values mainly? But we need to change those values from fear to energy, to love. Kind of that.
No, it's interesting because we teach values. I think very different than
Usually.
usual. Like 90% of everything that is taught about values, because it's also saying make fear your friend. So fear is actually nothing to be scared of or anything. It's just like a good thing to have fear. Fear is a good thing. So that's good that you get out of that depression, because then you were probably don't going against your values, and you switched and you find. Do you think you have been into that, like growth is very important? Because I think it's funny sometimes when we say that we should grow, or I have growth, and even like with those friends, that what's the matter of you? You have changed, you know? It's like, but you also have, because we cannot not grow. And actually, more or less all the time, we just come back to the older we get, the less we actually know. So what is that growing thing? Because we're doing so many years in the business of growing and success and all of that. And more or less, it's just funny to see how much we try to grow and have that growth. But when was the first time in your life you actually felt like you were growing as a person? You mentioned some from depression and all of that. But when was it the first time that you felt like, not by physic, not from 7 years to 10 years old, but
my legs growing.
But like in your mind, like you actually felt like, no, actually, I have growth.
You know, there are many questions in your question, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that I understand for people who think that, am I growing, am I not growing? I'd like to say that we can.
But can you not grow?
Absolutely, we can. So let's say there is evolution. When we are growing, we are gathering information, we are gathering everything just to understand what to do with it. And then there is degradation. So there are people who are living in this reality who are going towards degradation, and it is their path. So for example, as I understand in our genealogy, so our genes are kind of encoded towards something. Usain Bolt, this 100-meter sprinter, he was built for that, right? Michael Jordan was built for that. Einstein was built for that. So I didn't know that I was built for psychology. I didn't know until 30 years or something. And I just, in retrospect, I understood that it started for me, that I felt that I have interested in psychology. I was like 12, 13 years old. And it's funny, it started with yoga. I read some yoga books, Buddhism books about Krishnaism, Bhagavad Gita. I read when I was something like 15 years old. So the question again is, what is our genealogy saying? So you have this gene of growth. You have. Some people don't have, right? And then we who are growing shouldn't be like so proud and telling, listen, you are not growing, you are a garbage. And I have been in that stage when I think, listen, I'm growing. I'm the person. I'm the Homo sapiens, right? Who are you? And then I needed to remember that everyone has place in this universe under the sun, right? And everyone has his own path. But when I started to grow, my feeling is that at school, when I started to change my way of behavior, something like 14, 15 years old, but it started from the fear of how to better please people. Yeah. So this deeper value of people pleaser started to learn how to please more. So I remember really distinctively that I was in classroom and I wanted to get that attention. I didn't know that at the time. I wanted to get attention. So I remember some anecdote, really funny anecdote. And I said to guys around, listen, this will be really funny. And suddenly everyone turned around towards me. And that was first time in my life. It was like 10th grade or something like that, 9th grade. And the joke didn't go. at all. I was like, I was tanked. It was like
Fail.
absolute fail, absolutely tanked.
Yeah.
Though the image that people turn kind of stick to me, and I understand that subconsciously I
That's
took
the
this
power.
as a really great thing. And afterwards, I created, after I don't know how many years after, I created this party show. I was hosted a party show. I became famous, and then I created 5 more comedy shows in television.
So that one moment helped you
Possibly.
to discover like how
There was one other moment when I said something about political conversation my mother had with her friend, and she said something, and I commented that UN chief should do something about it. I didn't understand at all what I said, but I saw that one lady was laughing. Again,
so
really
that's kind
distinctively.
of, actually experiences make
Yeah.
repeating in our
Yeah.
life so we can use them. So that's actually suggestion could be how to remember good moments and to repeat them for better of us.
The tricky thing is, it was like the fake value trap. So the people pleasing stuff, skill to please people is good skill. This is good skill because we all need that. The question is from what point you are coming, right? I was coming just from the point to please people, right?
But is that like a bad thing to please people?
I would say that it is like, there
That's
is.
your opinion, but I could say the opposite. Like pleasing people is good. It's a good value.
This
I
is-
want to please people.
So I would say this is skill. At some point of life, it is really needed to have this experience. Just when you struck some kind of depression or destruction in your life, then you need to re-evaluate, right? Because until everything is going like in a chocolate, just go with the flow. But if you have some struggles, then you need to reevaluate, go deeper. Listen, maybe these are not my values.
I have one specific question because you talk about the fear and the values come from the fear. Because we are sometimes scared when we don't know something. And when we really don't know something, we want to ask and to somebody who really knows and get the answer, and that's done. We have an answer. If you could have a chance to ask the question to the God, one question, what kind of question that would be?
If there is a God.
That's another question.
I actually funny you asked, and I thought that I wouldn't have any question. So do I have a question for God?
Yeah.
And now I think I have. Could you describe yourself?
To the God. Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Because I have an interest in him or her or whatever we can name him or her or whatever. Yeah, but this is like the topic of empathy, actually, in a sense, right? What kind of person are we dealing here?
To the God.
But do you, how do you believe in God? Is that like universe, or is like the Christian God, or what did you thought about now?
In some sense, I'm agnostic. In some sense, from a different aspect, I know that I don't know that.
Yeah.
So until I'm proven, it can exist, right?
Because I think God, like I used to say that when we do the seminars, like God actually expressed himself very, very good to Moses with the burning bush, the Christian God, because he said, "I am who I am," and that's it. And Moses, of course, asked like, "But who are you? And what? Like, how can I know it's you?" And God, the only thing God says, "Yahweh, I am who I am." And I love that because that is like okay, and then you move on, and then it's a longer story.
And this is wonderful topic, actually, deeply philosophical, though I'm really kind of admirer of Tao, Lao Tzu. And there is this, again, from my spiritual path, where my spiritual name comes from, there is this concept that when you go deeper in your subconscious or consciousness, you understand that there are no words to describe that.
Right.
So in that sense, that would be interesting when I would ask God, please describe me yourself, that I understand that this will be just like with my gut feeling or whatever,
I'm
intuition.
wondering like how it would look to meet God and then ask the question.
Let's start with that, right? Let's start with that.
Pretty
Yeah.
like,
Do you know his number?
Yeah. Social number. Let's start with
Where
social
is she
number.
from?
Yeah.
Oh,
But I have another question.
Do you have health insurance?
Yes, by the way. And nationality, no, we don't go there. But, okay, we don't have a question now for the God, but still, maybe you have something that you want to, people sometimes have dreams and wishes, and then, oh God, can you please make it happen? Or, so what if you would have a chance to get a golden fish. The story of the golden fish, the guy catch golden fish, and then golden fish says, no, let me go free, and then you can make 3 wishes come true. If you could catch golden fish, what you could ask? 3 wishes for your life. It comes immediately.
Actually, this is a good question about values, right? In a sense, right?
Of course.
Yeah, sure. So, if I would have possibility to ask some wishes, then this would be really important to give best possible education for people, and in terms of not only knowledge education what we have in Western society right now, but 2 additional educations. So one education is about life skills, and third education is about spirituality. In the sense, just you need to understand your subconscious mind, you need to understand ecosystemic integrity, Advaita or basics of Muslim religion or Christianity or Taoism or Buddhism or something like that. So those 3 aspects of life would be really needed, and I suppose then we won't have any wars or something like that.
Beautiful.
So that's number 1, education.
Second one would be, give me please a wonderful team to do that, and then give me all the possible support from world to accomplish that.
That's good. That's like a mission.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then exactly it comes from the value, and can I say that education and that growth comes together? Somehow that's your one of the biggest value in the action of life.
So what Henrik said about values and sub-values, so my biggest value is, and it is dependency almost. It's like helping others. And then there is trick that someone wants to help only himself. Someone wants to help his family, and he is ready to ruin his country just to help his family. We have cases in our country. And then there is question about helping other people. And in last 15 years, it changed towards that I don't want to help what's happening right now. I want to help that will happen and will create the society after 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And there is just and only education what can do that. Just and only, because this is the only system globally in the Western world, for example, which changes societies. Media changes societies thoroughly, but education, it's like the one and only system that can help people, for example, from low status society get up, or from bad family to get up and fulfill their potential and something like that.
So that's why I really wanted to ask you, Zuarguss, this question about, because we are working now with the schools, we are going to the schools and talking with youngsters. What's the point actually to being in school, right? To search the value in the school itself. So if you could have like one suggestion for youngster who I know you are also going to the schools and work with young people, one suggestion to youngster 16 till 18 years young, what to do important in these years in school, what it would be?
Try all the best you can, find all the people you can, ask your parents or whatever, just one question: how can I find my passion? This is the one and only aspect what can give you energy. And when you have this some kind of feeling about that, then mathematics will make sense. Why I need to learn mathematics? Then physics or biology or sports or whatsoever. Unless you know why you are doing it, you don't have energy.
That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That's good.
Yes. So Henrik, from the side of the how we see our guests, because it's beautiful to discover you, Zuarguss. We know you like.
Now I will ask
Yeah.
one. I don't think we asked the question, "What's right with you?"
Yes, that's
Because that's a good one.
the
Everyone says,
turn.
"What's wrong with you?" But we do the opposite. We ask you, "What's right with you?"
Actually, this is funny. Wonderful question about what's right with you. And this is like one of the, for Latvians or Eastern Europeans, the topic about giving compliments to themselves. And this is one of the, again, biggest topics of subconscious mind. You need to learn how to talk with yourself. So say something good. And I started to say something good regarding one thing, something like 2 or 3 years ago. I started to kind of really say to myself that I'm really, in a good sense, stubborn. I have a grit, and I am really shocked about my grit, and I just started to kind of dig in why I have this grit in education. So, for example, when I switched from media to education, I was poor. With my significant other, we slept on our floor with our friends because we didn't have any money at all. And during these 14 years, lot of wonderful things happened, and a lot of shit has hit fun. And but I understand that when you have really deep this feeling about this is my value, and let's say help, and let's say education, then you can have energy from that. So grit, kind of resourcefulness in terms of how we can solve it, kind of that. And I suppose that you are the same spirit. I have a feeling, actually.
So
by the way,
stubbornness, that's right with you. That's we need to use it to expand the value.
Stubbornness has a really bad side effect in terms that I'm not hearing others, and that was my case, absolutely. And everything started to switch when I kind of learned and heard one of my teachers would said, listen to your significant other, listen to other people. They are telling you a lot of insights. And this is how synchronicity works, right? Law of attraction, how it works. I hear everything what is actually me, right? And when I started to hear that, when I changed this stubbornness towards hearing, lot of things changed. But stubbornness can kill you, and stubbornness can change to grit, in good sense.
This is how I always say, I'm crazy, but I always add, in a good way.
Yeah.
It's always in a good way, because everything can twist to the right side.
So overall, do you see that humanity and everything, because you were a little bit into culture, and like what works in this culture and the other cultures on the globe, do you think we are separated, or are we one with universe?
Absolutely one with universe. I'm in this way, I'm in Tao or Advaita.
How are we one with universe?
In our substance. So in our substance, who we are one. And when I'm working sometimes with methods of subconsciousness, there are miracles how our subconsciousness reads other people. Every mother knows that you feel that, for example, your kid has a problem, and kid can be like 100 kilometers away, 1,000 kilometers away. So this is kind of a way that we understand when genes are similar, so we are connected, right? But this works for everyone, everywhere. So, for example, Bert Hellinger, wonderful psychologist from Germany, and constellation method from him, their magic happens when you see how we connect with each other, that I can connect right now, and I can feel through my body, through my consciousness, your mother, your father, and so on.
How can we connect if we are not separated?
We are always connected. The question is our focus. So what we focus on, I become. So, for example, if we start to talk about your grandparents, actually we will start to connect with them. Or you will start to talk about some kind of tragic event, and I can have goosebumps because actually I connect with you. And sometimes from science point of view, it's kind of, they say there's those mirror neurons, right? Something like that. But it goes deeper, much more deeper. So it is like the funny thing that we think that we are separated in a sense. And again, it should be taught in education, right? That we all are one.
Yeah, because whole the Western world is built on dualism. Yeah, it is.
I would say that whole world, with some small exceptions, are built on that. And by the way, there are some cultures right now. When you said word culture, Henrik, then actually we can say that some countries right now have individualistic cultures, right? And some are more collective cultures. Yeah. And for example, in Latvia, it is super individualistic because we are not kind of like Finns ready to defend our country, for example. Yeah. And there are this trend that actually we need to be more collectively conscious, so to speak.
You mentioned actually in previous answer that there is a skill, or you can read the people, you know how to see the people, because even our podcast is called Read Me in the Kitchen. So you are in our kitchen, we kind of try to read you and what the answers comes out, and who are actually you. But how you read the people, how you come to the group, and you said also you wish for your come true, that you have good team around you, right? Then you really want to pick somebody who can more connect with you with more strengths than not just one connection. So how do you read people?
I have
What helps you?
to read people. It means first of all understand what state you are in yourself. If I'm in a bad state, in a depression or in fear or anxious or tired, I will be really bad at reading people. I will be super bad, and it happens with me all the time. Just when I'm really in a good place, emotion wise, physically, then I can start to read people a little bit better. Of course, I can read people, for example, with these specific methods. So for example, these constellations, we can read each other's families and all that stuff, but it all depends from our state. And it's really kind of important actually to understand, and especially for Western world, that our state of physical state or emotional state or well-being is crucial actually for us to function as a human beings. Because if we are not like phones. If phone has 10% of energy, so it functions 100%. When a human being has 10% energy, he's almost dead, right? So we need to be like 50% up all the time. This is the difference, and we always need to check, and this is the huge difference. And I have had time when I was super bad at reading people because I was really tired. So I don't know if I have told you, but I have for 8 years I'm writing in one Excel program. So I'm writing my state during the day.
Your personal.
Yeah, my personal. So energy levels 1 to 10, positivity 1 to 10, cognitive skills 1 to 10, ability to perceive information, and peacefulness. So for 8 years. And just this year, after these 8 years, just this year, I started to get over 5 or 6 out of 10 in my cognitive skills.
Like overall.
Yes. And I was doing fasting for 3 days 2 weeks ago. And in this moment of fasting, for the first time, I hit 9.
But what those numbers then give you, like if it goes to the suggestion to the people, should they measure their states all the time? But what it gives them, like you see your numbers and then what to do with them?
Biggest talent of any human is to kind of cheat on life, cheat on themselves, to lie to themselves. And this is the biggest, hugest talent, because it comes from the fear that we cannot meet ourselves. When I meet up myself, I'm not so respectful. My body is not what I'm like to do. My job is not what I would like to do. This is not my dream life. So we start to lie to ourselves. And if I don't want to lie to myself, I want to have a clear mirror. And clear mirror, not just my skin is good, right? Yeah. Instagram generation, my skin. How is my skin looking, right? What's happening with myself? So what methods I'm using? Do I do yoga, meditation? Do I do physical activity? What is my state? So not to kid myself, to be realistic about myself. This is huge.
So the suggestion is to experiment, right, with yourself. So to
Absolutely.
observe yourself and then to change some behavior. So what I am doing actually, that my numbers goes down. If I'm up, then I continue what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And so the one thing is, like, we need to always check about habits. So there's only one thing that can give you better life after 1 month or 1 year. It is just a new habit, or this habit what gives you strength or something like that. Continue that. Only one thing, habit. So you need to think this long-term way about habits. And when I see that, for example, my physical well-being has gone down, so what will I do with that? With it? Because when I have low state of mind or low state of emotions, low state of physical activity, my subconscious mind shuts me out of world. I don't have any possibilities to do big jobs or have new people in my life, because my subconscious mind says, "Oh no, you're close to dying. We don't need anything new."
Do you have bad habit?
Full of them.
Oi,
Yeah.
everyone has.
Absolutely. And so I have been in really deep rabbit hole in terms of spirituality. So for 10 years, actually, I was like against material world, and I was like, wow, the time when I didn't have any money was like myself created. I created it on myself. And in that time, I understood that we need to not to be like orthodox in some sense, right? Orthodox. So, for example, I know one guy who was trying to reach enlightenment through Buddhism in 7 years. He did everything what we needed to be done, blah blah blah, and he didn't reach it. And afterwards, he just drank his life away because he just what's happening? So we need to understand that there is this heaven, there is earth. We need to mix spirituality with the market. Spirituality in market, and then when I'm in the market, I need some support from my body because there is toxicity are all around, from negative people, from fearful people, blah 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 blah, and they are all wonderful people, just full with fear or anger whatsoever. And sometimes, for example, good compensation is sugar. For example, I have a lecture, and there is in the audience there is one person who is like really getting tense, angry because somehow his pain points are activated, right? And my nervous system feels that. I have had meetings when I asked Laon, for example, could you replace me because my back was so stiff I couldn't finish my lecture. So I need some compensation. And in that moment, if I need to be a good lecturer, I will eat cakes with sugar. I have tried not to eat sugar, for example, for 2 years. It didn't go well. Exactly. I tried for 1 year. I drank coffee, for example. Again, I'm jumping off in some sense. Sometimes I drink alcohol. Again, if I need, I will drink alcohol. I was 7 years vegetarian. Again, now I am again eating meat. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Good for you.
Sorry for still, such a long list.
Yeah, but still, you're like you're searching for something. What are you looking for?
Back to number one. Question number one.
Yeah.
Best way. What I'm searching for is the best way how I can help people, and I can help people only then when I'm at my best shape.
Are you afraid that you cannot help people?
Absolutely.
Sometimes?
Absolutely.
Is that like a value? So that is like a drive?
I suppose there is always this duality in a sense that if there is a drive, there will be some kind of fear. We all can go Tao way and say everything just purchase, Advaita, and I will like Sadhguru wife just went away, right? And if I'm here, so there will be some fear that, for example, I have fear of deadlines. For example, and there are a lot of them, and I'm not kidding myself. So this is like one of the stuff that don't pretend that you are guru. You're just a guy who is trying to do your best. You are trying to learn, grow. And for example, I don't know what's your way, guys, but when I'm teacher, I will start almost always with my mistakes. So this doesn't work. Absolutely. I this was bullshit what I did. This was so wrong. This was this or that, and then people can open up because we all making mistakes and lot of troubles for ourselves.
That's why I appreciate that you share that you have your bad habits, you have your fears, because I think that people should hear that everyone has it, and no matter how good we are in a TV, not in a TV, in a politics, not politics, business, not business, we have it. We are humans, and this is that our message that who we are around, we are all together, but we all have it. So that it's so many things online that it's too polished and too beautiful, but beautiful actually is reality. So thank you for who you are.
Actually, Henrik had a wonderful question about why you are doing this, about why I'm trying to measure my state of mind and positivity and energy. That if you don't have energy, for example, that means that something is wrong. There are kind of blocks are in your mind, in your subconscious, and this is like the fake state. One of the signs that you are in the fake state. And if you want this energy, just get out of this fakeness towards yourself. Don't lie to yourself as much as possible. Though we as a teacher should be really careful that we shouldn't be aggressive towards people who want to be in their shell as of now, right? They're not ready to come out. So if you want to be on your shell, kind of not to see reality, fine. If you want to come out, okay, let's do it gently and start with that. Just try to recognize what is your problem, what habits you need to have and something like that.
No, I think it's beautiful. Like a lot of times when I have been sitting with, for example, depressed people, like hours, and if I immediately ask that question, like who are you or what are you or how do you feel, because thoughts set our emotions, and that's our actions, so that's connected. So that's just how we work. But I used to fool them a little bit, so when they come, for example, if you were coming here to me now, and I will sit you in the sofa, and I will do all your mugs of tea, maybe 4, you know, and I will tell some jokes, and we will have fun, and then we'll like talk about life, and then I will ask about, hey, by the way, why did you come to me? And then you see that they immediately have to start to think, because they are actually not depressed at all, but the thinking makes them depressed. So it's like, shit, I come because I'm really depressed. And then I said, but you were not depressed now for 10 minutes. How do you know you are depressed? So how do you know that you are happy?
There is one of the concepts that I'm starting to agree more and more, that happiness actually is peacefulness. So when you don't have any problems in your life, so to speak, you don't perceive what's happening.
Everyone has problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So actually that's the happiness. And when I heard this concept, something like, I don't know how many years ago, at the first moment, it's like sounds counterintuitive, right? But actually, we are struggling all the time. Because there is pain, there is pain, there is pain. Obstacles and problems, I don't feel evaluated, and my body is not like I want to do, blah, blah, blah. So we just need to strive for calmness, that we are in peace who we are. And if we want to be in a peace who we are, we just need to understand that we need to grow.
Yeah.
Because
We're
only when we grow, we understand that our life will get better after 1 year. And again, better is really relative, right? It's just for yourself to understand that you're going towards your heart, your being, who you are as a human being.
Yeah, I don't think you ever can have an idea of what happiness actually is, because that's only personal. Like for me,
Absolutely.
some guys that say like, hey, but you are not happy. They say, we are happy like shit. You don't look happy because you think that we are not happy, so you wouldn't the problem, you know? So, but that's a good axe.
Yeah.
Do you have like one more question before we...
I just think it was wonderful talk and a lot of nice thoughts and what if you could how to say deliver to the world one message today. It's a silly term like but one wonderful message if everyone could hear that now, so what it would be?
2 parts of this
Sentence.
I would have one proposal in 2 parts. First sentence, be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
And second part is, then you will be kinder to other people.
As simple as it is.
And deeper explanation in that is that actually we all, until we die, we are still in our families. I have met really rarely adult people. Most people are kids. A lot of times I just fall in the mannerisms of kid, in my behaviors, in my impulsiveness and something like that. So we all actually are really starving for kindness. And only when we have kindness in ourselves towards ourselves, towards, for example, our bodies. That means if I'm kind to my body, I learn how to eat. I learn how to prepare my body for physical endurances and some stresses. I learn how to think differently. If I'm kind, I cannot be kind without smartness. I need to be kind and smart together. I need to learn how to be that. Because I cannot, for example, be kind to my significant other if I'm not understanding how to talk with my significant other. Or how can I talk with myself? I need to talk with myself in manner of kindness, even when there has been a huge mistake, when I have fear, when I have some problems at work, I have did some bad stuff. So being kind is really kind of that kind of skill, and it looks for big smartness in you.
So it was just to back you up, so I get it, because I'm from Sweden, so I'm a little bit slow. It was to be good to yourself, right? That was your message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good means, again, why this word?
Kind.
Yeah.
Kind to yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Kindness is really actually kind of maybe misrepresented word in our Western society.
And that's what I was just like, what is that?
Yeah, because the way how we say it, just be nice. So we mean also the same, like, but
Yeah,
nice.
but
not
I
a
also think
look.
that those are the things that we are saying, like just be kind to yourself, and then you meet guys like, yeah, but what if is that?
Okay.
Because it's different from Finnish people. it's very different to Swedish people, but we are like brothers and sisters. So you
This
know,
is
and
good.
then you go to Latvia, it means something else. If you go to Zimbabwe, Rhodesia, it's something else. I don't know if that country still exists, but anyway, you know. So what is it? But it's nice. Be kind to yourself, whatever it is. We don't have to explain that.
Let's explain that.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
let's explain
yeah,
that
yeah.
because it's really important.
How
Actually,
can you explain that for everyone?
I can give you one example, what is universal, and I think maybe that can be like about that. When your mother is kind to you when you have done something bad, or you are crying, and mother comes to you and not punishes you, she's like kind. She's stroking your hair, she's calming you down. So this is kindness. So this is not nice when you can be like fake nice.
Oh, yeah.
This is not like polite when you again
Is
it
it
can
a
be
feeling?
fake.
Or something you do? Because now you said it was like
Doing
something
yeah,
you were doing.
behavior, yeah.
Kindness always means skills, empathy, and feeling at its best, at its strongest. Actually, because kindness is one of the core needs. That we can say values. Actually, people don't know maybe that for all people, kindness is value. Question: how many people with whom you have worked said my value is kindness? Everyone, because we are all still in a crib, so to speak. We are all still in a family. We are just trying to get out of family and being adults. But I say usually that in relationships, people usually are 7 to 15 years old. Especially we can see in the stress when in relationships with a pair, they have an argument. Usually they are not adults. They are arguing like 14-year-olds.
Do you think, just like one last question, because you are interesting, because we are going back from we grow up childhood, right? And then we do the circle. So the last like 10 to 15 years actually, the brain and the whole system actually is just the rewind, like going back to the stadium of a kid. And that's like life, like that's science, like that's how it is. So do you think then that actually we need to be kind to ourselves and to others also because of this? Because you said like we are always like childish, or we are like on different levels in life. We can feel adult 1 second, and next time we are like 3 years old again and kicking and screaming. Like, because I think that kind of thinking from the psychiatrist and all of that the last 10 to 15 years is like going back. I don't view it like that. I just think it's like life. It's beautiful. It's like why is it bad to be a child? You know. So
I can agree that this is or can be beautiful if this is your choosing.
yeah.
If this is not your
Yeah.
choosing, for example,
Yeah.
my choosing is to help and be still really active, then my understanding is when you are getting like childlike, very old age, it can be really with consciousness. We can say playful.
Yeah.
So I am playful, yet I'm with my all adult intellectual capacities, faculties, right? So, and that there is topic what I'm striving towards, that I can be productive towards society. I like this analogy of cancer cell. So cancer cell is caring just about itself. It's not sharing these materials, resources to other cells. So it doesn't matter how old I am. I should be a healthy cell to help other people. So therefore,
That's beautiful. A healthy cell.
healthy cell, exactly.
Yes, I think all this we can wrap up this.
Yeah.
Because
Actually, I can maybe I can ask you some questions.
Oh,
Can
that's
I?
a nice
One.
twist. One question, because then I have cooked for you something.
Yeah.
Because we're in the
Okay.
kitchen. Yes. We
Okay.
need to.
Okay. So my question is, what is the biggest danger of education right now? In all realms of education, what you see around the world, all aspects, academics, Instagram, schools, kindergartens.
That's easy to answer.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole system is fucked up.
For example, in what specific way? What?
No, I don't think we have a clue about what education actually is. So I think the whole system will crash, and something new will be born.
Yeah, I think that.
That was
biggest-
very negative, but that's my aspect.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not negative. It's just
No, for me it's
realistic.
positive. I cannot wait to the system to crash completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that biggest danger is again the same like you mentioned about seeing your statistics of yourself, so that we don't see reality. Sometimes system itself don't see what is happening. Everything what is happening now in the school's educational system is still going and going, but we cannot see all picture, like whole picture in total, and we don't see from the perspective of kids and youngsters. So our point is to go to school and have a workshop with youngsters and discover their value, so that at least we start to see from the point of youngsters what do they see. I think system don't see itself at the moment, and that's the biggest danger while it collapses.
Okay, wonderful answers actually, guys. My explanation. What is the biggest problem in education right now is lack of connection with reality, and lot of lies.
Yeah, the same.
That's
yeah,
what we.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the lies. I just want to emphasize that we have a big, huge problem of fakeness. And sometimes we just think, yes, fakeness, it's a problem in Instagram and TikTok and all these filters and all that stuff. But the fakeness goes into subconscious mind of the kids, with all those kids. And for example, I had in last 2 or 3 years, we have had some camps with youngsters. And for example, camp is 5 days. Until third day, those young guys are looking in our mouths and just trying to guess what to say. And we are just trying to say to them, listen, guys, try to be honest. And they are afraid like a dog. You know, they are afraid as a dog, will someone hit me or will judge me or something like that. So I need this filter all the time. And one huge example of this is, for example, manifestation tool. And there are a lot of tools what people are telling about, right? Instagram is full with manifestation. And the problem with that is that manifestation is a wonderful tool. It's kind of one verb from placebo. But we are using this tool and we are damaging the tool because people are lying about this tool effectiveness. So 2 days and you will reach this and that. 7 days and you will be millionaire.
21.
This is one of
No,
the.
but
Yeah.
I will, because we cannot take off. This is another podcast episode.
It will be probably.
But I think from my experience doing so many years in that field, I think you, to wrap this up now, fit in with your ideas about things, because I agree with some of them and not all of them, and it's always like, you know, talk about things we can, oh, that's a good idea, and we can actually be have enthusiasm of that we are different and thinking different. So in one way we have been there and touched. It all goes back to the first like 5 years of humanity, and it's actually start like 9 months from the bang, and 9 months in the belly of the mother. That we can have a lot of answers, we can have a lot of techniques and all of that, but we need to be very humble and go back and actually don't have any answers and don't know anything, and just see what shows up. So you have a lot of good ideas. I love statistic that you do with yourself. That's good. And you're a beautiful person. So I think you just should continue to do what you do, and yeah, because it's never right or wrong. We say that all the time. It's just different, you know. And how can it not be different when everyone is unique? So you're a very unique person.
Thank you.
Eva has cooked something good for you.
Because I'm actually good in cooking, but I pretend. So it's again to the fake. I choose to be fake in the kitchen and say that I'm not cooking, because Henrik is cooking very good. That's what I cook good. And today I cooked actually three dishes. But sorry, it's like menu in a restaurant. You choose only one. So right. So I give you a chance.
Wow,
Please,
game. We have a game.
Yes, it's a gift game. One is we talk about habits. So this is the actually wonderful book, and it's in Latvian. Probably you have read it, about atomic habits. About
I haven't read it. I know stuff. Yeah.
Actually, that's in one top 10 in more than 2 years. Yes, 2 years. And then it's like art to be productive, because I think that also could fit to your productivity list and so on. But actually, this is our own product of Me You One. We have friendship game. because here we really invite people that we think you want that.
Yeah, just check it out. Just check it out. Just check it out. Because my feeling is
you want that, because here we invite people that we really think could be our friends also in future, and let's do something and let's be nice to each other.
Scratch
and
my
kind.
back. Scratch my back.
Yes, so you can play the games with your groups, what you are working with, and
Okay,
be
he
nice.
chose.
He chose. The
Yeah.
gift is done, and thank you, Zuarguss. Continue really what you are doing,
Yes,
and
thank you so much.
for coming, and be kind.
Okay. Thank you. Let's be kind. Cheers.
You are more than welcome to follow to our all social medias in Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify, of course, meyou.one. And we have also a website, www.meyou.one, and you can find everything about podcast also there. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.